because I'm going to be throwing to the panel. Just talk about how you get through this.
Yeah.
How we humans cope with death.
Okay.
I mean,
30 seconds before we started the show.
We'll go blank.
Did you say what?
Don't be a
Yeah, you heard it right.
don't be a masturbator. At least not in public. Like keep that to yourself.
I could have sworn you said
No
If you work
masturbating
at
in public.
Supercuts and you give people a bunch of fades and you're really good at it, are you a
Hey, you
masturbator?
kids.
Oh,
What was that?
Fair enough. Wrecked.
And tilt it up like this, like quarter inch.
I look like I don't have any blonde at all from this angle.
You don't think I'm a pro, man?
It's because you haven't. I can't even
You don't
see
think I'm a
from this
pro?
angle.
3 minutes. 3.
No, she can't see.
3
you.
minutes, everybody. Any questions? Any
here.
comments?
You're not here.
Josh, when I watched your entire video and I have no idea what you were doing, so when I throw to you, you're gonna have to explain what the hell.
That's on you.
Wait, what video?
Yeah. Like, and I don't even know what part of it to use because it's all so.
Say what?
Like, just when you think it's like, oh, nothing else is gonna happen, he goes upside down.
Okay. I always feel like if my
I became
collar was over here, I'd be like,
I became the dancing queen
Yes.
this week. That's what it was.
And we can't play
Dancing
any
queen.
now because it's got
Get out of my head.
You don't want any
Perfect.
flags from YouTube. You don't ever know what they'll put a little widget on and what they'll say. You've been flagged. So it's just, yeah, and I don't know who has the ABBA catalog. So
Say what?
we're not going to be able to hear. You can say they're doing. You can sing Dancing.
do we have the
Queen,
rights
Okay, we're all
to
gonna.
ABBA?
Okay, so we're all gonna sing "Dancing Queen" when it comes.
Dancing
Oh, I don't sing. Oh no.
We're just doing it.
Oh, but
Yes,
you
I know
will.
we're all
You know
gonna
me.
do
I'll
it.
sing.
Okay, we're gonna
I'm
do
just
it.
be dancing queen. I'm just gonna say it.
You people have to tell me. stop
Dancing
singing.
Queen.
I will sing.
Feel the beat.
That's
All they have to do is
That's the next
you just be
lyric.
like, go on
On
Facebook,
the
check out the video there.
tambourine.
dancing queen.
Oh yeah.
Feel the beam on the
I put
tambourine.
my own music is up on iTunes. When I use my own
you seen
music
the,
and video, I get flagged and said,
The poetic reading
Like,
of
you
"I'ma
don't-
Buy You a Drink" by
it's
T-Pain.
like
It's my favorite thing.
it's a computer.
It's just a
that looks
poetic
like-
reading on YouTube from like
The moment we
2008.
post
It's
it,
like
Yeah.
4x4 aspect
now it
ratio.
even
Like
catches. Aaron, did
I'll
you know that
go
now
to
it even
karaoke.
catches covers?
Dude, yeah, in
Except
K-Town
I
they have
Because
can't
even
some
us
dope
singing
karaoke.
Dancing Queen might get.
K-Town?
Sing.
Where's
They have
K-Town?
some good
Really?
karaoke.
Okay, we'll,
Kinda like
we'll speak it then.
Well, right.
Dancing Queen. Feel the
Is that
beat
English?
from your
Yeah.
Yeah, we really
tambourine.
can't sing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Like where 6th Street is and
Oh, yeah.
La Brea,
Got
Wilshire.
it. Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, down that area.
Friday night.
Oh, like
And the
Koreatown.
lights are low.
K as in Korea. Got it.
Yeah.
I know where. I now. I see. I know
Getting it out now.
Koreatown.
Place to go where they play the right music. Getting it.
You'll have to watch the video with
You're
that
in the
music in
mood
it because
for
it's
this.
great.
Bam, bam, bam. And when you get the chance, you are
Oh, you started in a key too high. You're never gonna get there. Good luck.
Don't
Good luck.
challenge her.
right.
Amen.
We are Journals Out Loud. I'm your lovely and captivating host, Louise Palanker, here with a panel of wise and wonderful young people who are here to help you with life and other things.
I've been out there wandering.
Boom.
I've been in here wandering.
Kaboom. That's right. Wow. All right, so we've got Jilly.
Wow.
Wow.
We've got Jilly. We've got Josh. We've got KatieMichal. We've got Ryan. And we've got Shira. She's just a studio audience for tonight. But, you know, she probably has something to say. She probably has some things on her mind, something to say. I just want to open the show by showing a picture of my cousin Nathan. Matt, if you have that.
Yeah,
That's Nathan, and he was hiking last week in England, in the Lake District, and he fell, and he died. So my family and I are just absolutely shattered. He was treasured, and he was a brilliant light of a guy. And I was wondering if you guys had any advice for grief, and if you've been through something similar to us. It's very surreal. It doesn't feel like it's happened. Every time you remind yourself that it's happened, you're shocked once again. It's like you have amnesia, and every time you remember, you're repeatedly shocked because he was very alive. And I was wondering if you guys had any advice for people that might be going through the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the only real advice is just like do whatever feels right to you. I think a lot of time there's a lot of pressure to do, do I stay and home or not do anything? Do I go and try and, make myself feel busy? Do I, do or not do? Or, sometimes, you feel really sad, and other times you want to laugh and tell stories, and, there's a lot of pressure. And I think that you just have to be really honest and authentic to like where you are in like the grief process. And, we were talking, earlier a little bit before the show, and, when I was in first grade, I had my like best friend in first grade died of leukemia, and I was like shocked because I didn't think that like kids died. Like I just didn't think that like that was a thing that happened. And when I was told by like the teacher, I remember laughing, and like that was confusing to me. And sometimes people get really uncomfortable with death, and people have different reactions. And I think that when it comes to death, like we all just have to be really understanding of each other. And you can't put pressure on each other to, feel or not feel. And so I think that, if you are supporting somebody who is going through the grief process, you can reach out to them in whatever way you feel fit and let them know that you're thinking of them, but I think just being understanding and allowing people to feel or do or not do, and whatever that looks like, that would be my advice.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah, grief is something that everyone deals with at one point or another. Across human history, it's been present everywhere all the time. Every religion has a way to deal with it, every culture. That's how present it really is, and it's very difficult, and that's because it's not a quick fix. You have to mourn someone. You have to go through that process. Like Jilly was saying, sometimes things get kind of weird. I remember a couple years ago, my dad's best friend passed away, and he was pretty much my uncle. And my dad called me to tell me and just kind of started laughing, kind of like your experience was, because there's so much emotion. You don't know exactly how to cope with it. I think for me, I try and appreciate the time I did get to spend with a person. I think a lot of the pain for myself, at least, in any type of loss comes from the loss of the ability to enjoy more time with that person in the future. Because day to day, your life doesn't always change. So that's where a lot of the pain comes from for me. And I like to try and appreciate what I did have with them.
And one of the things that I've noticed too is that people don't always know what to say to you when you've suffered a loss in your family or in your friend circle, and so they won't say anything, or they'll just say, "Oh, that's hard," or "That's horrible." And what I find that I prefer, and I went through the same thing when my father died, is if they ask you to talk about the person, because it's healing to value the life that you've lost, and for them to value it with you, and to say, well, what was he like? Tell me about him. So if you have a friend that's going through a loss, I think it's helpful. It is helpful to say, I'm so sorry, and my condolences, and I wish you my love and prayers, and may his memory be a blessing, and all the things that we say and wouldn't have said over the years. But also ask, were you close to her? What was she like? Tell me about her. And that's healing, because people do want to talk about the person they've lost. You may feel, I don't want to ask that. She might start crying. She'll be embarrassed. But it's actually healing to talk about the person and give value to the human and the life force that they were, and what they shared with others, and what they meant to you, and what you'll carry with you forever. So those are just some thoughts that I had. Did you want to talk, KatieMichal? No? You're not ready? Okay. I mean, everyone has a story, and sometimes we just need to process it. And with something like this, I find that it will sink in at some point, and there's no hurry. It's everyone on their own time, and let people go through as you were saying, Jilly, go through the mourning process in their own way. You know, some people need to go back to the day-to-day, just go back to my job, go back to school. Some people need to spend more time alone. Some people want to talk. Some people just want to be, like, sometimes I just found myself staring into space, like I didn't want to go anywhere and I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just wanted to not anyone to judge me if I wasn't having thoughts or if I was just thinking about him and time, like as Ryan was saying, time we won't get to spend. And that hurts, you know, that hurts me, and it hurts everyone. You know, you just want to repair it, and you know, we don't get to, but that's the first human instinct is, how do I fix this? How do I make it not have happened? And, you know, and you can't. And so I think that humans should always have a hard time with death. Every birth is a miracle. Every death is a tragedy, as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Because we value one another. And this next story, I was looking through the HuffPo, as you know I love to do, and there was a video which was kind of bringing everybody up to date about a guy named Matthew who 6 years ago came out to his mom in front of the computer, putting the webcam on. And I told you where to pick it up, right, Matt? Because it's him in present day talking about he's ready now to look back on it and to discuss it because it went viral. And this was done 6 years ago, and we'll just sort of let this unfold.
Is it something damaging?
No.
So he's giving his mom a piece of paper for a program for LGBT youth that he would like to join, and that's going to be his way of coming out to her.
I don't know.
Wait.
Hold on.
Fixing that hair.
Oh, he's got YouTube hair. He needs to shake it out.
I don't know.
What? Nothing you could tell me that I would never stop loving you for, hon. You know that.
That's sweet.
What is it?
Can I go this?
What? Will you use group camp information? What is it? What is it, hon? I mean, I don't understand what it is.
I don't know.
Does this tell me what it is?
What?
Does this tell me what it is?
No.
Is it something about your personality?
I guess so.
What is it? I might know anyway.
Guess.
No, I don't want to guess. I want you to tell me. That boys or girls? You gay? It's okay, hon. I knew you were. I knew you were, hon.
So cute.
Shush.
That's sweet.
Sorry. Don't be sorry, silly. Don't be sorry.
That makes me
Sorry.
so
I love
happy.
you no matter what in the world. Don't you know
She seems like
that?
the sweetest mother.
I
Yeah.
just want you to be happy. Let me tell you something. I pray every night. I say, let Matthew grow up someday and have his own wife and children someday, or whatever kind of family he wants to have. I've known it for a while. I just figured. Okay?
Yeah.
Isn't that special? So they became very YouTube famous, and if you go back to the Huffington Post, you can watch the beginning of the video where he kind of today sort of talks about how happy he was that his video gave a lot of kids courage to come out, and you know, not all kids receive the kind of love and unqualified acceptance.
She knew already.
Yeah.
Like when he was like
So-
goes down, she's like, she knew what
So
she
do you
was
think?
like.
Do you guys? Yeah, she knew. So here's the question to you guys: do you guys think that if parents suspect that their child could like the same sex or be attracted to the same sex, should they say, "I think you may be gay"? Are you, like it's always like you
No,
wait for someone to come
absolutely
out. Would it be helpful if they said something like, "It doesn't matter if you like boys or girls," or just something along the way
Maybe.
to lay the groundwork?
Maybe like that.
I think if you make that type of statement as like not aimed at them, like subtly,
Just in
but kind
general.
of like
oh, Tommy down the street, isn't that cool? He's like gay.
right
That's
to make
so
your child
great.
feel comfortable that
And
they
then
could come out.
your son or daughter or whatever could be like, okay, so my parents are cool with it. You could do something like that for sure, but definitely don't
agree.
call them out on it.
Yeah.
Because then they might
It's
get
not
defensive.
calling him out. It's just like it was so hard for him to say the words that he led her there, but he
But still, he wanted to lead her there. Whereas
Yeah.
if you were just at the dinner table one night and and you're just like, Ryan, are you gay? You know what I mean?
You got
like,
me.
Yeah, you can't.
That
you
would be
can't force
so
someone
shocking.
Yeah,
I also think if it's something personal like that, you don't want to rip that out of someone. You want to let them bring it to the surface
For
on their own.
Absolutely.
Although she was like, I want you to tell me, but like I already know.
At that point, because
he was
he
like,
initiated
yes.
it. You know? I remember it's a very stressful time. I remember when my brother came out. He's 2 years older than me, and I want to say it was like 6 years ago. And my parents are divorced, but he waited till some point when they were both at my mom's house, and I was like getting cereal, but I do that at all times of the day, so I don't know if it was morning. And he came down, and he was just like he walked in the kitchen, and he like told my parents that he started smoking weed, and then he told them that he's gay, so that they would be more concerned.
Oh, so
Swoop,
wow. Gay's easy compared
Wow.
to you being a pothead.
And he doesn't. And they were like, "We'll handle the weed later." And he just went upstairs
I
to
like
his room.
his strategy.
He fell asleep for like hours because that's how much it like took out of him.
Yeah.
He also like just smoked once. It wasn't even like a thing. He
that
just
was
wanted
his
to
strategy.
Yeah, but
So he said that and then he left.
and then he went right upstairs and slept for like 8 hours.
He did, but did they say that's okay, honey? We don't, we're,
It was. I think I was kind of like processing it. I don't remember exactly what they said right afterwards. It was a lot for me too because I was like just da 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 da, and then like
so it was news
like,
for you as
You're
well.
like getting
oh,
some
shit.
cereal, and then you were
Yeah.
like, "Wow."
Yeah, I mean exactly. So I know my mom was definitely like totally cool with it, and my dad is okay with it, but it took him a little more like adjusting to get used to it. He was
Yeah.
okay with it, but it took him a little bit to process. And I don't really care. It's like he's my brother. I didn't have expectations anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not like he's giving me grandkids or something. You know, like that.
He may.
That'd be
All
interesting
kinds of families.
if
I
my
had-
brother gave me grandkids.
My brother didn't come out until he was 24.
Yeah, wait. What?
What would have to happen for that?
Pardon me?
For my brother to also
Get your,
be my son? Is that it's not possible? I don't think
For
it's
your
possible.
brother to also be your son?
He could be like
You
my
guys are
stepson or something.
confused.
yeah.
I
That's
think
okay
you'd have
then.
to marry your mom.
So yeah, he's not giving me grandkids.
No, he can have any kids because if you want to have kids, you have kids. Like you can adopt them.
Yeah.
Or you can
Yeah.
have a girl who gestates your sperm so that it's biologically your child.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that's
they
all I
just
mean.
wouldn't be Ryan's
Grandkids. The
grandkids.
point
Oh,
I was
they wouldn't
making is
be-
that I didn't have
oh.
expectations
There
of
we
getting
go.
grandkids from
and
my
it
brother.
comes together.
Like my mom,
Oh, nieces
mothers
and
have like a
nephews.
maternal like, oh, like when are you having grandkids?
Or like a
you know?
vision of what that looks like.
Right. But for me, I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, that's my brother.
No, it's all on you, baby. You're gonna have to be the breeder in this family. Carry on the name.
I'll try
All
my
right,
best.
let's delve into questions. Ryan, first question, please.
I met this guy at a party and we've been talking ever since. We live 3 hours away, but he came to visit me for a day. He went back to school because he's doing a summer program, but ever since he went back, he never wants to FaceTime anymore and he barely talks to me. I want to confront him, but I know we're not together. I want to low-key tell him, but I'm scared to lose him, but I don't know what to do. I mean, I would just say right off the bat, you want to tell him, but you're scared to lose him, but you know you're not together, so you don't really have him to lose in the first place. I'd put that out there. And then also, he's doing a summer program. Like, he's meeting a lot of cool new people. And even if that kind of hurts to hear, he's probably making new friendships, maybe meeting new girls, maybe not. But if you're not together, just talk to him. Say you'd like to talk more. That's all you can really do is express yourself. But he's not doing anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key point of that is you have nothing to lose
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
So if you want to like reach out again, then like you totally can, but also know that like you don't have any sort of like thing there that like you owe each other at this point.
Today, I like to have a cliche for every situation this week. That's my goal. So for this one, the ball's in his court. And yeah, like you've tried and let him miss you. That's all I could advise. Let him miss you. Go have a summer. Go have your own summer.
Yeah, don't wait on him.
There you go.
Not
Seems
worth
cool,
it.
but
I like the low key. I want a low key time.
Yeah, it's almost like you answered your own question. Go low key on this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, low key it. Next question, KatieMichal. You don't like to read long questions, so
back to back for
Josh,
Ryan.
back to back for Ryan.
Yeah, go ahead,
Boom,
Josh.
boom.
So who's reading it?
You are.
Okay. Basically, I insulted my best friend. We're 14, but sometimes she can act and dress like she's a lot younger. A couple days ago, we were texting about what we were wearing to graduation. She judged me for saying I was wearing makeup and needed like an hour to get ready. In return, I judged her for saying she was just slipping on a dress. I basically told her that she needs to grow up and change, and she was really hurt. I've already apologized a lot of times, but I don't know what else to do. What can I do to show that I will always be there for her?
Just being there for her.
Yeah, you guys are 14, so that's a big part of the problem, I think.
Peak drama years.
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah.
But you guys, I think, are gonna learn that like the less you judge each other, like further you're gonna get. Because like I don't
Powerful.
know, yeah, right,
Stuff.
profound, right?
Yeah.
I think you should just keep trying and just show her that you're there, and sooner or later she'll come around, and you guys are probably like at the end of school see each other and start crying and be all the.
How old is 14?
This
That's
happened.
7th grade.
This
Well,
happened
they
to
just
me.
graduated 8th grade because go ahead.
No, so this happened to me and my friend. We were in 7th grade, and we don't even. She's my best friend still to this day, and we do not know why we were fighting. But we were fighting for like 2 weeks. We split our friends. It was a thing. Like, oh, you guys. And then one day, I was just like so sad that we were not friends, and so I wrote a note, and she sat like 2 seats behind me, and I passed it back to her. She got it, and she yelled. She was like, "KatieMichal!" And I looked around, and then in the middle of class, we just like ran to each other, started hugging and crying, and everybody was like, what the heck is going on? And like the teacher was like, are you guys okay? We're like, no, we've just been fighting, and like we love each other, like, and we don't know what we were fighting about, but we remember running it to each other in the back of the class. It was like a slow motion in a movie, like literally just like dun 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 dun.
I think only you two saw it.
Yeah,
that
I was
way.
gonna say I wouldn't necessarily advise this.
No,
like, just,
no,
like,
I'm
in
just
general,
saying,
like it seemed to have worked really well for her.
I'm
But like,
just
don't
saying,
just like
like,
pass a note.
whatever it is
run up
right
to her.
now, whatever it is right now, you guys, you're gonna get over it if you guys are real friends, and you're gonna be fine. Just be there.
What KatieMichal's sort of saying is that like there's a standoff for a certain amount of time, and then if like
Yeah.
one person breaks the ice, like makes a small chip in the ice, it's like the ice just busts away.
for
and
sure.
everything. Oh.
That board game, Don't Break the Ice, might be one of my favorite childhood board games ever. But I was going to say something actually more relevant than
Okay.
that. Although I don't know how it gets more
I
relevant
don't know
than that.
how it could. Good luck with this.
But I think like you should also recognize you didn't do anything catastrophically bad. She was kind of rude to you too. I'm not saying you're in the right. Obviously, I would never advise that you retaliate in any way when something like this happens. But, you know, you both have a right to be a little annoyed with what each other said and try and just give each other some space and get over it. I think guys, especially at this age, are like a lot different than the way girls are. Because if a guy said something like that to me, I really wouldn't care that much.
We hold a grudge.
But it'd be more about how I was acting. If there had been circumstances leading up to that where I didn't feel supported, then I would be hurt, you know. But if it was a friendship that was solid until something was said like this, it wouldn't throw me off course. So also maybe take a look and see if there have been problems in your friendship beforehand that are a little bit more subtle, but are more indicative not of just the things you say, but how you actually are acting towards each other.
So this is a really good example of sort of theory and practice, because in theory you can say like everyone should just be themselves, and then in practice something happens where you're like, I wouldn't do that, or that's not the right way to be. And you can be like, why are you spending an hour to put on makeup? Why are you just slipping on a dress? Like, why? This is graduation. Why don't you care more? So when you catch yourself, when you find yourself like in violation of your own theories and your own philosophies, catch yourself, because it is hard as you go through life to not be like, well, that's not what I would do. Everybody would do something differently. Like, let's all obey the laws, as a basic framework. And then within that, as long as you're respecting the event slightly by wearing something that isn't like a torn up burlap sack, you could be like,
It's
hey,
also like it's
Louise.
not her. Like I would not even go there. Like I'm telling your friends like what to wear and what not to wear.
right. But it's
Yeah.
hard not to have an opinion. And so this is the good age to learn. Don't say everything out loud.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. And I think that like part of what I've learned around that, don't say everything out loud, as well as like if you're about to say something you know is going to hurt the other person and they're probably going to argue with you about it, is it worth arguing in a year from now? Like I always think about that, because if it's not going to be, it's not even worth saying it in the first place.
Right.
Like it's like it kind of helps you get over your own self before you even bring it to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need, if something's not going to be a big part of your life, there's no need to disrupt your life now for it.
Yeah, exactly.
As far as not saying things out loud, though, quick little anecdotal
I say
story.
everything.
How I learned this. I was at my friend Cameron's 10th birthday party. We were probably younger than that. We were at Go-Kart World. And his mom was walking around with a video camera, just like recording everything as you did 9 years ago.
I did this.
And before it was like vlogging, where it wasn't first person. It was, or I guess it would be
I
like
was-
whatever person is looking at yourself. But
I was an early adapter.
Yeah, and then his mom was just like, Ryan, do you have anything to say to the camera? And I was eating cake, and I just turned right at the camera, and Doug is his dad, and I'm just like, Doug, you have a big nose. And it's true, he does have a big nose, but it was not the right thing to say.
Right.
Right. So my dad immediately was like, no, and pulled me off to the side.
Wow.
And so, yeah, definitely, like, it's okay to think things, even if they're true sometimes, but you don't have to point them out.
Yeah, but that's such a 10-year-old thing. Like that's so normal, you know?
I mean, I still kind of say things like I shouldn't say probably.
All the time.
I've never seen
no
a nose
filter.
like that. Like, I got to be honest.
No, this will make you feel better. This will make you feel better. My cousin Joanna, when she was little, I'm telling her like this really brilliant story with lots of interesting detail, and all of a sudden she just looks at me and she goes, "Are you trying to grow a beard?"
Wow.
So I plucked. Point being, kids say really mean things.
They're brutally honest.
You know, with like one little whisker. It was just the one little whisker that we ladies tend to grow upon occasion. So check for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's even worse than you have a big nose. It's, you know.
Yeah.
So because I wasn't trying to grow a beard. And that was some sarcasm right up there. But yeah, so I mean, kids will look at your face and say exactly what they're thinking. So that's a good way to know whether or not you look okay.
I mean, I would like to know tips on like how not to say exactly what you're thinking.
Don't ask women if they're trying to grow a beard, and don't tell men that they have a beard.
Give them advice on growing their beard. You
Okay.
know, if you're trying to grow a
say
beard.
what you're thinking.
Yeah, how not to say what you're saying. Because I'm at Chipotle all the time, and I'm the cashier. So I like, there's people that are always like talking to me, and they're like, "How's your day?" I remember
you're
this one
just like,
lady who was like just asking me. It's supposed to be like, "Hey, hi, how's your
Right.
day? Good." Like it's supposed to be like that, but I was just like, "I look dead, but it's okay." And she's just like,
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. If it's about like, because I do
and
that
I
too.
was like smiling.
Because I work at a pet store, and like people will come in and be like,
They're not really asking.
Hey, how's
you.
your
I
day?
said that to her though.
I know people are like, hey, how are you
But
doing?
they're not really
and
asking you
I'll
how
just
your
be like,
day is.
just counting down till I leave, and they're just like,
Damn.
oh, and I'm just like, but that's fine. They ask me a question. You can, if it's about you, answer however you want.
Yeah.
you
They're
know?
not really asking you guys.
I know,
Well,
but
then they
I-
don't. Then they
think-
shouldn't. Then it's on them to not say what they're not
Alright.
trying to say. You
You
ask me a
can have,
question,
like,
I'm
little-
answering.
It's
So,
great
like, a
because you're here.
socially nice.
Yeah, they're just
thing
trying to
to
be
do.
like friendly, you know.
So, but it's fake then.
Yeah.
No, it's,
So I'm insulted if you actually are going to ask me a question and don't give a
I-
crap about my answer. That's insulting. That's more insulting than not
it's
asking.
retail.
All right.
Or
All
like
right.
the no filter thing this week. There
Aaron
was
says we have to move on.
oh,
Me.
Yep, that's
Rude.
what he said.
Shrugs off camera.
How's your day, Aaron? How's your
Go
day?
away,
Until we
Aaron.
didn't move
I'll
on, it
take
was
the
fine.
Go
short
away.
question.
All right, Katie Michael.
I mean, I have no idea what's about.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It's not that short.
You're not
Which
that
one are you
short.
doing?
That's true.
She's actually fairly tall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the one about
4
online
inch
dating?
heels.
Oh,
It's
I
a good
see
one.
This, yeah, I have been doing some online dating. Okay,
Yeah.
I have been doing some online dating, and I have been exchanging some messages with this guy. He seems pretty decent, and we have some things in common. He's interested in meeting up, but doesn't have any photos of himself, only a picture of a fancy car.
Insecure much?
Catfish.
I asked if he had any photos, but he said he's not photogenic. I'm unsure I would meet up with someone without knowing what they look like. Opinions? Josh, will
No,
you
no,
talk
no. Stop there. I should have put a dotted line.
Oh no,
My
no,
fault.
They're two separate things.
Oh. Opinions?
Do
question
not
mark?
turn page.
That's what it said. Yeah.
Would you meet up with someone who's...
I started online dating, you guys.
oh my God, Jilly.
Jilly.
Not really, but in theory.
Okay, but
what
so...
does that mean?
Wait, like Tinder, Bumble, or like Match.com?
J swipe.
J-Swipe.
But it's still like a
J-Swipe.
swipe, so
Ooh,
I
we
feel
want
like it's
stories.
Would you like to know?
My mom
why?
and stepdad met on JD.
Why?
No, my dad and his girlfriend met on J Swipe. And my friend, yeah, you're still swiping. It's like Tinder, but it's more classy.
It's,
I
it's
think.
more Jewish.
It's more Jewish, and it's
Oh, that's
and
what the J's for.
It usually is.
just... Wait. Literally, J is for Jewish?
Yeah.
J is
J-date is Jewish date.
Yes.
J-swipe is Jewish swipe.
But I
Got
was
it.
with my friend who's who's
Okay.
older, and she was like, you have to get on J Swipe. And I was like, why do I have to be online dating at all? And she was like, you don't understand. Like, that's where you're going to find a guy. Like, everyone is online dating.
Oh, is
and,
she
like,
your
that's-
grandma now? Getting you to like find a nice Jewish boy or something? What is
Okay,
this?
relax for a second. She was like, you, first of all, you need to be with like a little bit of an older guy like that. You need to not, okay, stop rolling your eyes.
This just
over
sounds like my
here.
grandma, except
Okay.
except she's your friend.
Okay, chill. She was like, you need to not be with like a frat boy. You need to not be like a random guy that like you meet at like a bar, like a club, like whatever. Like you need to actually like meet somebody, and like that's how you're like gonna meet somebody. And I was like arguing with her for a while, and she's like, what do you have to do? Is like make a profile, like whatever, just like do it, and like just like see who you meet, like whatever, like don't be annoying, just do it. So she like sits down with me. This is yesterday, by the way. Okay, so I'm very new to the online dating scene. So yesterday she like sits down and like helps me make a profile. J-Swipe is hilarious, by the way, because it's all like Jewish themed, and I'm like the least Jewish person ever. I dropped out of Hebrew school, like whatever. It's so funny.
That's an album. Just Hebrew school dropout.
No, by the way, that's my bio. Hebrew school dropout. Okay.
No way.
Can you pick up your J-Swipe and we'll just read the profiles of people?
Literally that's my thing. Is Hebrew
I really
want
to
to
do
We
this.
should do one of those like things where you take over someone else's dating profile, Tinder, except I'm going to take over your J-Swipe.
Okay, you can do it
Let's
after
do
the
that.
show.
Oh,
We'll
give
go
a
live.
round.
We'll go
No,
live
not after the show. Oh, we'll go live.
Okay,
after
well, we can do it during the show later.
Or
Oh
we
my
can
God, I
record it
want Ryan to
separately.
read your
Okay, so
J-Swipe.
anyway, so I'm doing it and whatever, and I have to say I'm meeting some really nice guys who like want to take me out to coffee, and I will keep everyone posted. But moral of the story is, you cannot, these guys are real, and the reason I know they're real is because they have their Instagram attached to their profile.
Exactly.
They have
can do some
multiple
research.
pictures of themselves. They have pictures of themselves with other people. It's attached to Facebook. You can't meet somebody without knowing what they look like.
Yeah, no.
You have to
Because
back
they're
it up.
hiding something.
Danger.
They're hiding something.
You
By
have
the
to
way,
Google them a little bit and make sure that they backs
Yeah.
up that
their
who they are.
age, you might be meeting somebody who is way older, way younger, not the gender
Jewish.
that you're
Yeah.
not the gender that you're looking for.
Right.
Um
Not even the species,
Let's
because
go.
like a car is not even human.
Right.
You could be dating a
here's
car.
why
Transformer.
I'm worried for you.
I would
because
date a transformer though. You guys do not understand.
KatieMichal's down.
Optimus Prime,
KatieMichal's
Bumblebee,
down.
Ironhide. If they called me up, I would be there. I would make
She's
little
down.
Autobots babies with
Hit
them.
her up.
Like you
Hit
Jilly,
her
you
up.
can date a Jewish car, but not like any
Yeah.
car.
By the way, I don't
know.
even need to be on J-Swipe. I'd rather be on a different one. But
Okay, I know you're not, and that's why I'm
so
uncomfortable.
our answer is don't go. And if he says he's not photogenic, that's not enough of an
that's
excuse.
something
Well-
red flag. Have you seen Catfish? Go watch a couple episodes of
Well, you
Catfish.
need to even make
Catfish.
sure, like, even if they do have pictures, like, sometimes you still got to be
No, you
careful
should
like
FaceTime.
without the links, like, there's
You
really
should
no way. Because
FaceTime
like,
first.
Right, and if the pictures are too good to be true, like almost too photoshopped, it's not a real
Well,
person.
okay, so
Well,
like
now everyone's
Jilly.
going to turn me down because you said that.
Yeah,
Weezy.
tell me. What am I doing wrong?
No, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I
Okay.
said like Jilly. I joined a few sites this week too,
Ooh.
but not for the dating reasons. For friend, like there's friend options on all these sites.
Dude, we have to
So-
devote an entire show to this. This is so intriguing. to me.
Bumble in particular
Bumble,
has
okay.
Bumble BFF, so I joined.
This is the best. I'm fascinated.
I just, like, don't
Please go
like
on.
that
Okay,
this is how
Michael.
you like meet.
I joined Bumble BFF, and
Until I find my longtime boyfriend, you're gonna hate it. Until
and so it was interesting because I'm on there and it like I don't have any male friends, but the app specifically matches you with your gender if you're looking for friends.
Right,
So I'm matching with all these guys.
right.
And I've been like talking to all of them, and it's kind of weird because like I don't have any guy friends, and like all these guys are like talking to me, and I'm basically talking to only guys now, and I don't even talk to my female friends anymore.
Okay, so guys, if you want to be best friends with Josh, you need
Wait,
to know.
so you can
Go on
online
Bumble.
You need to know what you're getting
Yeah.
yourself into.
it's like
Hold on,
Tinder,
let me
but for friends.
Let me continue.
Why?
No,
Let me
this
continue.
This is why you.
I'm the host of the
join-
show. If you want to be best friends with Josh, you need to know something about Josh that's very important. He's a swinger. Josh, would you please set up the clip that we're about to watch?
Oh my god. You're so wrong.
Interesting way to.
Okay, so last couple weeks ago, like, when I promised you all an exclusive look, and then we didn't do it.
When I failed you all.
When I failed you all, but we're back in the game with this
Right now
video.
is so confused.
KatieMichal, just strap yourself in, okay?
We're back in the game
about to get
with
good.
me swinging. There's a video of me swinging.
Right?
And so we were. I was
Yeah, go
up
ahead.
doing a wellness. We all have to sing Mamma Mia now.
So please
but-
explain why this is happening.
So
at all.
I was in Oakland with Foster Youth on a wellness retreat. So the organization is called Youth Training Project.
So this is going to be your new
And
BFF,
I know,
everybody.
right?
You can
And
see him
so
from every angle.
we great. Why would you say that? And then so we were up there and we were all like doing this, and then nobody wanted to go up in the air, and I was like, screw that. They were playing Mamma Mia, and I went up. So if the video actually has Mamma Mia in the
It was
background,
Dancing
playing.
Queen. Yeah.
Wait,
And-
I got the sound here.
No,
No,
we can't
play it.
We
We
can't.
can't play it.
Take
We
it
can't play
down.
it. We can't play it. We can't play it.
What the hell?
Dancing Queen.
Oh, it's Tarzan.
Anyway, so nobody else wanted to do it, so I was like up in the air, like,
Why?
screw
That
this,
looks
I'm
so
just gonna
fun.
go. And so I was up there, and they were playing they played My Goodies by Sierra. They were playing
Really?
like Beyonce. Then they played Mamma Mia, and then I was just like, forget it, I'm gonna
There you
go
go,
at
there
this.
he
I don't
goes.
care. And so I was swinging in the air for about like 3 hours, and everybody was just sitting on the ground like watching me because nobody was really doing it.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know.
But
So-
yeah, the point is for like wellness and making sure that you're taking care of yourself in between working. And I tend to work.
Work.
And They actually
So
played
is
that
this
song too.
part of
But-
your Bumble profile? And if not,
Um,
when?
Oh, okay. So I should add like
Oh
that
my-
I'm a
please.
swinger on there.
Just a GIF of you go. Yeah, just a
Swingers.
little
Just,
GIF.
just a GIF of me going.
Like
back.
KatieMichal taught me how to. What did you teach me? What did we learn on the
Boomerang.
Instagram? We boomeranged today. If you go to our Instagram, Journals Out Loud on Instagram, we boomeranged a little bit, and so you should do a boomerang of that.
Okay.
It's pretty exciting.
There's a 15-second clip I can use. Yeah.
Oh, please, yes.
And then I'll put it backwards. It's cool in slow motion. It's like, ooh. Like,
well,
it's
round of applause for Josh. You did a great
Yeah.
job.
That looks incredible.
in there.
Josh and his swingers trip.
And Jilly,
Yeah.
would you please read the next question?
Yes. Hold on. Okay. Hi, I'm 16 and in high school, and I have no clue what I want to do later in life. I just can't seem to find what's right for me. I don't want to be sitting at a desk doing the same thing day after day. Any ideas on how I can figure out what to do?
Ryan's so good at life advice.
I hope so, because I give a lot of it.
Yes.
When you get to college, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to try new things, try new experiences. Imagine you are on a diving board 50 feet up in the air, and there's a bunch of little like pool floaties, like the circular ones, right? And like people who know what they're doing, they jump off and go like right through one. Belly flop. Do your best job to cover as much ground as you can. Just try new things. You're going to get there. There's going to be clubs. There's going to be activities. There's going to be events. Go to everything. Try everything. And you don't even have to think about it, but eventually you'll just find yourself going back to the same few things. And then after a while, you'll be like, oh, I guess this is the thing I kind of like to do. You don't have to consciously do it.
And then
Just
try to make a job out of it.
yeah, just consciously
Yeah.
try a lot of things,
you can
but
make money.
then
You're
let it
not.
happen.
I didn't make a job out of like 4 a.m. broom ball, but like that's what you do because that's when you get rink time. So you get up in the middle of the night and you get a broom and you chase it around a hockey rink trying to score goals, and then you realize, okay, I've tried this. Now I'm going to sleep. But yeah, there's all.
But you
kind-
might find out from broom ball you have a passion for hockey, or you might meet
Yeah.
someone who does broom ball who has passions
Yeah,
you've never
you
heard of
do
that they could
not
teach you
need
about.
So,
to
like, what's
know
the
what you
w-
need to do?
All right. So
Oh,
what are some of the weirdest things that college kids? What are the weirdest things that
Ooh.
you've like signed up to do?
I
Oh,
didn't go
that
to
I've
college.
signed up.
I signed up
to?
for nothing.
Oh, I
I
signed
just-
up for a lot of things, and then I didn't necessarily.
How about cruising with
go.
Oprah? How about that? Hmm?
Yeah,
Yeah.
signed up for that one.
Yep.
I'm going
Jilly's
on
going to be
Saturday.
cruising with Oprah.
I will. I'll keep everyone
Just you and her?
posted. Just
Tell her I
us.
say hi.
I'll let her
We're
know.
close.
Yeah. No, not just me and her. I'm trying to think. Well, my mom was a child psychology major, and she got a C her first semester, and she works in entertainment. So it has nothing to do with child psychology, but she says it helps her work with actors because they are like children. So it just goes to show you that, you know, even your major in
Ow.
college, what?
Ouch.
Sorry. Even it goes to show you, like, people go their whole lives and go through college and still, you know, you could just sometimes you still don't know exactly what you're doing, and you just kind of follow your passions and do what you love, and you can figure it out. And I think that's the most important thing is, like, do what you love, because if you're stuck doing what you don't love, then that would really suck. But sometimes you do have to work at a desk for a while before you can really do what you love.
Boo.
My thing is that
No?
I would
No, you do.
not.
You do.
I
I
would
just hate
not
it.
like get into the mindset where you have to graduate high school and then go straight into college or whatever. I really don't agree with that at all, because I know a lot of people that are back in Reno going to college, spending all their parents' money or their own money, working super hard trying to get their sons through college, and they're like, I don't know why I'm doing this or what I am going to do with it. And so then 4 years go by and they're going to have wasted all this money, have so much debt, and they don't know what to do with it. So if you need to take a year to try things and work at a job so that you can travel or whatever it might be, then do that. Like, do not get into the stereotypical like world that we live in where you have to graduate high school and then you have to go to college, because that sometimes is not the case. There's a lot of stoners out there that are like millionaires because they didn't go to college, because they just did what they love, and now they have their own clothing line. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's a really good
I would like to
documentary.
just-
I would
Ivory
like to
Tower.
advocate for college. I do think that most people should go to college. So
I'm not saying don't go. I'm just saying don't
put
go
your-
when you have a plan.
Gap
Don't
but
go
if,
with
you-
the
if you're
years
if
are
you're
pretty cool.
if you're 16, you should be on a college track until you decide otherwise. Because if you miss certain sort of steps that you're supposed to take to get your applications in, or to be eligible, or to get the classes that you need in high school to go to college, then you might regret that by the time you're 18. So go ahead on the college track. Because although it's expensive, if you go to a junior college for 2 years, you're going to be saving half of the money, and you can still get a degree from a really decent school. Most states have a really good junior college program. Also, may I say, you're not supposed to know what you want to do when you're 16.
Oh my God, not
So
at
do not
all.
put that kind of pressure
Almost
on
nobody
yourself.
does.
There's a
even
lot
a
of
little.
ways to take things that you're sort of mildly interested in and sort of combine them and find something. You may come to Hollywood and get into acting like KatieMichal and Josh. You may, go to college and study broadcasting. You may become a dental hygienist. You may learn how to be a mechanic or something that only takes a year of training to have a fairly good job, because a lot of the newest jobs are going to require some technological training. So maybe there's some high school classes in that will get you ahead, and you realize, I don't have to go to college because I already am machinist engineer who can construct whatever this is, or fix the machine. That's the guy they need,
You
right?
can be undecided too. I have
fix
so
the
many
robot.
friends who are undecided
Yeah.
in college. Like if you want to go to college because you think you definitely need a degree, like I have so many friends who are undecided and just getting their GEs out of the way, and they're just figuring it out. Like that's also, and like knowing I don't know what I want to do in life. Like I just know my major, but I don't know what I want to do in life.
Right.
Like that's
You're-
a huge. I'm figuring that out as I go.
Apparently, at Brown, you can just do whatever you want and then just get a degree. I guess they don't have degrees at Brown. They don't have programs.
I
You
wouldn't
just
know
you
because
you
That's
just
way-
me
way
too,
higher
me
than-
too. But just from people who've told me, you just go in and you design your own major, and then they're just like, well, here's a degree. They may never teach. You could major in journals out loud. I think technically you could. Maybe
You don't know
in
that I
Gallatin,
didn't.
where you can just design.
just design your own major, and then they're like,
That's
"Oh, we're
at
Brown,
NYU,
so we can
you would
approve
think.
that," and then everyone will respect
NYU
it.
has
So-
I
that
think you
too,
probably
where you
have
can
to get it
design your
approved.
own,
You probably have to go to a counselor and just say, I would like to
Yeah, but
major in fabric design, and they're like, okay.
But I think they say yes to pretty much everything as long as you actually major in it. If
As
you
long as you're
do
working,
things- yeah.
you can't just be the stoner who's
But you could major in studying this show if you wanted. That's how.
Okay, so
and they
Brown
would print
students-
you a certificate for it. I think. Don't quote
Yeah,
me
but you
on
probably
that.
have to make
Be
your own
like,
curriculum.
Ryan said.
You probably have to put a curriculum together and have it approved so that you're actually meeting goals. Because one of the things you learn in college, whether or not you learn anything about anything, you do learn in college how to put yourself on a schedule and get things done without your mom going, Ryan, did you?
Theoretically.
or not.
Or not.
Last 3 weeks of school, I did no laundry. I went to 2 classes. It was a mess. But
Yeah, see, I didn't need
You're not
college to
setting a
figure
good
that out.
example.
I got
Go ahead,
A's.
KatieMichal.
I didn't need college to figure that out. I'm a very independent person on my own. I do
That's-
all that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying,
No, you're
it's
good.
not
Yeah,
for everyone.
I mean,
That's
I
good.
didn't go either. I mean, I went for
got my life
just to
together.
find friends, but for the most part, I was independent because of foster care, so it was I didn't really have to learn school-wise to that. I mean, there's a new discipline now that I have Chipotle, having to work everything around that, but at the same time, it's
Life skills.
Yeah,
Life skills. But
The
at
poodle.
16,
They need
I
that
certainly
class.
didn't know.
I mean, I am going
They
back
need
in the
a
fall.
class
I
of
just
that.
enrolled actually.
Oh, okay. Where do you
So,
go?
I'm going to be going to SMC.
Oh,
Santa
nice.
Monica
That's a
College.
great
Yeah.
city college, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to be going there for the fall.
I think it just depends on what you feel is right for you. But I think at the end of the day, that is the most important thing.
And
And
if
don't
you-
feel pressure that you need to know all of it. You just need to know your next step.
And my best tip for if you're sitting here at 16 saying I don't want to be sitting behind a desk all day is learn as many things as you can. Pick up a camera and go around and start taking photos. Learn it. Go. If you find out that your uncle is a surveyor, go learn how to survey. If someone's a park ranger, spend a day with that person. Shadow people that are not sitting behind a desk and say I'm totally interested in what you do. Can I tag along? And there's so many jobs where people are not sitting behind desks, and just think of one that would intrigue you and go follow that person. Even if it's not someone you know, go to a website and call up and hey, I'm 16. Do you guys at the pet shelter, do you guys need any interns this summer? Because I would love to learn to know how to work with the animals. Whatever it is. Ryan, next question, please.
I'm dating this guy and he's really sweet. However, he keeps telling me that he loves me and it's scaring me a little. We've only been dating for 3 weeks. I was expecting a non-committed relationship and instead I got a full-blown obsession. He texts me every single second of the day and complains when I'm busy. I really want to break up with him, but I feel so bad that I've played him like this. Should I just stay with him till he breaks up with me? You didn't play him like
Yeah,
anything.
no, he's
No, this
just
is not playing.
I think I'm going to
This is
assume
dating.
I'm going to assume you're about 15, 14, 16, somewhere in that range. and this is probably his first relationship. And he probably has spent about 3 weeks with you and been super happy that he's had a girlfriend and that he's had someone to talk to and that it probably has made him feel a lot more confident. And he loves the way he's feeling. And he doesn't know how to differentiate loving the way you feel versus loving the person who's been in your life since you started feeling that way.
Wow.
He probably hasn't identified
Profound stuff.
Ryan's good.
what love is. And he thinks it's the right thing to say to make you feel good. But you're not playing him. If you don't, a relationship is testing the waters with someone. And if you're not enjoying it,
It's a
give him the
two-way
peace sign.
street.
You
It's a
do
two-way
not
street.
owe
Yeah.
anything.
No.
just peace out of
Yeah.
there.
I wanted to I want to specifically address, like you said, should I just stay with him till he breaks up with me? Does it sound like he's gonna break up with you? So
No.
I think that you just need to bite the bullet and break up with him. You don't want to be in this relationship. He obviously is probably not gonna be the one to break up with you. So just for his sake and your sake, just do it. Break it up with him.
Unless like you just want to be with him, but like not as intensely.
But I don't think. I think that if your
I
first
think
thought
he's already
is to,
gone over that board. You know
I
what I mean?
think
think
that.
so?
But also,
That's-
if your first
yeah.
thought in this circumstance
just
is
break up.
then I don't think it's worth trying to get him to meet you
Yeah.
halfway.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't
If you
tell
s- if
somebody
you're-
that's saying, "Oh, I love you," to tell them, "Hey,
Don't
don't
say
love
that.
me as much," and maybe we can see if this is where. That's
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
I think you're right.
It's okay. I mean, someone can say "I love you" too soon, and that's fine. That doesn't have to be a
Right.
relationship killer. Like you don't always reach that
But
point at
it's
the
like,
exact same
it's
time.
like a way too big of a
But
miscommunication.
At this point, they're on such different pages that for her, it seems like she's already moved on to the idea that this would be better ended. If you feel in the moment like
Right.
it's better to mend it, then go for it. But that doesn't seem like where they're at.
Right.
But I hear what you're saying. In some
Mhm.
relationships, maybe you could try and mend it and meet halfway.
Yep.
So it's like you meet somebody like, oh, you're cute. From a distance, like, oh, this is awesome. Well, let's be here and let's see how that works. And if the person's like, like there's you're like as a couple, there's too much distance still. Like you could sort of train a person like, I don't really like it when you touch the top of my head because I was bitten by a dog at the age of 3. Like what, like little things like that. You can say, yeah, don't do that, or like I like to kiss this way, or like little adjustments. But like this guy wants to be in like constant communication and you don't, so it seems like you're too far apart. And it's called dating. You try it out and then you can say like this wasn't working. But like, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the definition of playing someone when you get something from the other person and that you want and then dump them without
For like manipulation.
Yeah.
yeah, without caring about their feelings? That's not what you just did.
No.
Yeah, and it's also like actively trying to do that to the other person besides just
Yeah,
getting something.
like your intention is just to use the person.
Yeah,
And I
Just
think
to say that you got, the boyfriend.
right, and I think
Right.
that like if you look a little deeper, like they're obviously saying without hurting the person. If they say they love you, like they're going to be hurt. Obviously, they're very into you. They're going to be hurt. That's okay. Like that is
it's not your responsibility.
fine.
to
Sometimes
protect
we
them.
have to hurt people.
people
because you
hurt all the
tried
time,
something
and you
and-
will be hurt too one day. That's the way it goes. That's
It's
right.
like fall off a bike, fall off a relationship. It hurts, but you learn something from it and you move on. But you're
Mhm.
not obligated to stay with someone just because you don't want to hurt him. That's not how that works.
Right.
You get to move on, but you just have to be respectful to him.
Yeah.
I don't want to give Ryan a short question, so I'll give KatieMichal the next one.
I can do that. What do you do if your best friend turns on you?
Find a new best friend.
Yeah, dead ass.
There's
Man,
so much
I
we're
read
not
it
being
as
told,
turns
though.
you on, you guys. I really thought
my
that was the
gosh.
question. Sorry.
Well, then
you can
Let's
answer that.
pretend
you
it is.
tell
Answer that
her
question, Jilly.
or him.
I don't know. I was curious.
If that was the case, then you tell him. You're like, you know what? I like you more as a friend. But that's not what the question
Like
was.
when we
Yeah.
get a one
you
sentence
get-
question like this, I'm always like, what are you not telling us? Like, what
Right.
did you do to her? That's my first instinct is
I mean, honestly, yeah.
I
With as little as information we have, it's kind of just like you need to tell them whatever they did. Hey, I didn't like that. Don't do it again. And then from there, you guys can decide, depending on the apology or whatever, if you guys want to try it again. But if not, like, yeah, get a new best friend.
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. And I
Yeah.
also want to address what you said, like, what did you do? Like, I don't necessarily, I mean, I know in some circumstances, some people could do something and then the best friend does something in return. But, like, at the same time, this also could be a situation where the best friend just did something really messed up. Like,
also
But we
there's
don't know.
like
We don't
the
know.
other thing we
So-
don't know because
So
it's such a
can't-
short
yeah.
question. But like there's
can't
like
spend a long
flocks
time
of
on this.
friends
We
that
don't
all of
know.
a sudden
So
like
many things.
like the flock turns, like your friend goes to the flock and then the flock turns against you. Like that's all fluid stuff that's happening between kids. So like yeah, I don't know anything and I'm not accusing anybody of anything. But like we need more information usually in a question because there's a lot we don't know. Go ahead, Ryan.
Luckily for me, in my experience, I've never had a best friend just flip on me like that. But I know plenty of people who it's happened to. It's actually not as uncommon as you might think. That kind of stuff happens. Best friends. Some people just wake up one day and hate your guts for no reason,
Yeah.
or they have a reason, but it doesn't seem like there's a reason, and that's okay. That's the way things go. But I also know from everyone who's gone through that experience, that's a deal breaker in a best friendship. So once someone's done that, it's time to acknowledge that the person you thought they were also has this added caveat of being turned on you and like mean to you. And that's not the right best friend for you. So I don't think it's worth mending with someone who has that ability to turn on you. I've never had a close friend do that, and if I ever did, I don't think I'd have an interest in being close friends with them.
But Ryan, don't you think this could just be one of those situations where they're just mad at each other today?
Oh well, then sure, but then you're.
We
But
don't
then,
know, though. We can't. Spend
if that's
a
the
lot of time
case,
with
then you
guys.
asked the wrong question.
Yeah.
I can't help
Come
you
on.
with that.
We don't know. We don't know.
That's
we
all.
could
I
play
mean,
if game all day.
Give us some
we
more
go
deets.
back, if we go back to the girls who were arguing over graduation,
Yeah.
we answered that question. So if you were listening, or rewind if that's more along the lines of what you meant. But if you have a friend who seriously turned on you, then I would say probably not the best friend for you to have anymore.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Next
Ryan, next question.
I know this is weird and not normal for a teenage girl, but I think I'm in love with my cousin. We used to talk all the time, and now he's mad at me for one thing that I couldn't do. I miss talking to him and getting random messages from him every day. I just don't know what to do.
I think you love your cousin for your cousin. You're not like romantically. Well, maybe you are.
I think people
Yikes.
do
Actually, I
have
can't
cousin
say
crushes.
that.
It's happened.
It's totally happened. It totally
But
is.
you can't act
All
on it.
my
It's
cousins,
just a crush.
All my cousins are good looking. Dead ass. I'll say it right now. All my cousins are. I'm not joking.
not
They
where I thought you
are
were going with that.
outstanding. No, they're outstanding looking
No,
gentlemen.
I hear,
set
I
me
hear
up.
you. I hear you.
So
Are they on
it's
J
like-
Flip or Flip J? What?
Swipe.
Swipe J.
So it's like
Chase one.
you maybe you're admiring like the fact that like your cousin is a nice looking person.
No,
but
I think
no,
you miss talking to
I
your
think-
cousin
I think, yeah,
on
you
the
love your
daily
cousin.
basis.
My cousin is my bestest friend. Okay, I love talking to that kid. I love him to death. So maybe you're just confused on like your
I
love
think
for your
you're
cousin and your
confused.
love for like a person romantically.
And
And
I
you're missing
I
that.
think when you're younger, you can get that confused.
Yeah, totally.
Because like when
Yeah.
my
It's
first
okay.
time liking somebody, it wasn't my cousin, but at the same time, like I was very much like I now looking back at it, that wasn't love. It was more of
Yeah.
just like I was like afraid of losing that person because that the relationship was going through a change.
Yeah.
And now they're not
Mhm.
really part of my life, but at the same time, it was like. At the moment, it felt like, oh, I think I'm in love with this person, like because just you haven't had those feelings before.
Totally.
So
it's
I feel like we have to address 2 points. Like, is it okay to have a crush on your cousin?
Your
Yes.
husband? I hope
yeah.
so.
I hope I have a crush on my
All
husband. Yes.
right.
You can have a crush on your cousin, but you shouldn't act on it. And
Yeah.
I know in the olden days, cousins used to marry, but they've learned that like biologically, you don't make the best kids because it could
Welcome
be
to
still, like,
2017.
Yeah. So you want the gene pool
You'll
to be a
just
little
get
wider, but you can
really
have.
judged.
But
you know?
yeah, and
You
it's
just-
but it's okay to have those feelings, and you
Yeah.
can really be infatuated with your cousin, and sometimes it's the first opposite sex, real true friendship that you have, and so that stuff is normal.
know?
Oh, and high
and
probability
then-
your cousin's not interested in you.
Yeah, but like so
like
now
that,
let's move on
so.
to like this little squabble, and let's
Right.
address that.
Got it.
that she said something and he's mad at you.
I think it'll blow over.
I do too.
You guys are family.
You're related. But you
don't
can
stress about
apologize.
it. But yeah, apologize and your family.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna blow
that's
over.
cool.
I mean, summers are weird because you do sometimes spend a lot of time around your cousins, right? Over
Yeah.
the summers. So it's like that's your whole friend group. It goes from being like your friend group from school to like your relatives because sometimes that's who you're with over the summer.
Yeah.
So you can apologize and you don't. The good news is that you are related. And so unlike friends turning on you that might blow away forever, your cousin is still going to be there.
My cousin got mad at me quite a few times, and it'll be like he just won't talk to me. I'll be in Vegas or whatever. We'll be hanging out. I'll do something that pisses him off, and he just won't talk to me for a day. And then he'll just come around and just like literally punch me in the shoulder or whatever, and be like, "Don't do that again." And I'll be like, "Well, okay." And then we'll like duke it out, and we'll be fine, you know. So yeah, you guys are family, and if you are actually really good
It'll be
friends,
okay.
It's fine.
It's going to be okay.
don't stress about it.
So, but we're glad that you wrote.
Okay.
No, I'm fine.
Josh, next question, please.
He's like,
Sorry.
Did you just punch?
I need an
Ryan?
arm sling.
Are you okay,
It's broken,
Ryan?
I think.
Okay, so there's this guy in my grade who basically texts me every day. He's nice sometimes, but he's usually mean. He makes fun of me a lot. I tell him I'm going to block him, and he begs no. Why is he being mean?
I think he likes
Because he likes
you.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are definitely like
Yeah.
freshmen or like in 8th, 9th grade.
It's like
Kid-
flirty, but it's
Okay,
mean,
after
but
you.
sometimes
It
it's
just-
nice.
It
but
just
you say
really
it's
depends on
mean.
what he is saying, because there is a line that like you shouldn't cross. Like this week, actually Sarah, my girlfriend, she had an issue with somebody on Instagram, and they were commenting on her picture and like asked her like you're pretty, like all this other stuff, and she was like thank you, and like And then he was like saying other things to her and then asked her out. But then he just like completely flipped because she didn't respond to it. Instead of saying like no, his argument was she should have said no thanks. But then he just like started calling her the B word and like all this other stuff. Like this is why dumb like you like don't get dates, like stuff like this. Like
Sarah,
and I'm like
no.
And then she's like, well, I'm gonna block you. And he's like, no, wait, I still want to go on a date with you. It's like, but
oh my god.
Whoa,
but
really?
like,
Well,
that's
you
what I'm
just
saying.
blew
Like,
it.
it really
Guys are
just
the worst.
depends on what
I
he's
feel
saying.
like that's
Like-
intense.
So
I
how
don't think
do
that's
we-
this
I don't
situation. I
think-
feel like this situation is more
It's
of the
more
situation.
just like flirty and
I think it's
sassy
flirty,
way.
but then also he's really mean.
But
so
how
I
do
don't
we
know
teach other people how we
But okay.
expect to be treated?
Oh.
Well, okay, so here's my thing. There's this kid, and we're like super good friends now, like really good friends. But like and we were in high school too. But like our freshman and sophomore year, we had this super weird, like we love each other, but every other day he would like make me cry or something because he would just do like mean things, like, and I would just freak out. But then the next day, like we just love each other and whatever, and like we should have dated, but if we did, like, I'm serious. We talked about it because he came and visited me, and we talked about it. We were like, we should have just dated, and we're like, well, we probably would have been boyfriend and girlfriend for like our whole high school career, which you know,
I mean, it
yeah, no.
translates
So,
that,
but the
but-
thing is that like he would, I mean, be so
Sometimes,
mean sometimes,
yeah.
like make me cry, but at the same time, like we just had that really good friendship relationship, and we loved each other.
sometimes
to
you just
death.
like mess with each other. It's like a way to kind of like.
But I don't know if
But
this is, like,
sometimes it's not
friends.
okay. You have to
You could
decide
say like you need
what's
to be
okay.
nice. Just
No,
look right at him and say you
there
need to
was-
be nice.
There was definitely like the lines like he would cross. Like he would totally come back around and be like, Katie, I'm sorry. Like that was too far. I'd be like, yeah, that is
Yeah.
too far. You know what I mean?
yeah, because
So,
he's figuring it all out too. you
yeah,
know?
he doesn't know how to act.
So it's like help him.
Yeah.
Who are you pointing at, Aaron?
I'd help him.
At me.
Right. Of course.
I of course, what's that? You know, I talk a lot. I think that also part of it is like young guys learn that like kind of a way to flirt is to be kind of like jabby and like witty. And then all of a sudden, like it works a little
This is
bit,
a bad
and you're
boy
like,
move.
"Oh, let me do it more
Yeah,
and
but it
more
works
and
to a
stronger."
point.
Right? No,
It
that's what I'm
works
saying.
to a
So
point.
you
There's
make a
peak,
little
and then
fun.
you're just like, oh no.
You make a little fun, and then you start making a little more fun and a little more fun, and before you know it, you're just dishing out full blown insults.
Right. So there's
And,
like too far thing, like with the guy with
That's
Sarah.
so
It's like
true.
guys that think that if they insult a girl, she'll think that she can't do any better than you, and
I
you
don't think
don't
it's-
want to be that guy.
It's not,
No,
but it's also
it's not
not that
that.
conscious.
It's like
literally
demeaning
just
a
like-
girl so that she'll be, you know settle for you. I guess.
It's not that forward though. It's a
like
subconscious
it's like
thing.
making you laugh.
It's
or,
just
like,
Yeah.
little jabs are flirty, and all of a sudden, if that works, why wouldn't you do it more? Because there
Because
is
then
a
she's
fine
like,
line that you're crossing.
Stop it!
You
Oh
were
my
just
God,
hitting
you're
me.
So mean. Sorry.
But I also think that I mentioned this a little bit earlier in the show in a different circumstance when we were talking about the graduation thing. But like also guys and girls like act differently, and sometimes
Yeah.
when people try and communicate, like the things I say to my guy friends, oh my god, I could not get away with saying those to my girlfriends. Like it would not be okay. So there's also like a fine line of like as you're growing up, you start to realize that you treat different people differently. And
Right.
like if I said some of these things, we would not be friends anymore.
Right.
But to my guy friends, it enhances our friendship. You know. So
You gotta read the room. You know.
Read the room. Read the
You
room.
gotta read
Yeah.
people a little bit
But like,
before you
don't
start being. a
don't
certain
take
way.
anything that you're not okay with, and don't
Yeah.
ever be afraid to be like, that was like.
That's
And you can
mean.
also do it in like a funny way, and be like that. I don't know how you say it in a funny, but you know you can say it in a funny way, or be like,
fam,
Line drawn.
chill.
yeah,
Be like, yeah, dude. Okay.
Be nice.
yeah, or give it back to him, or like whatever.
Just bruh or just ellipses.
All right. Last question. We're gonna make it good. Who wants to read it? Jilly?
Yeah, here. Sorry, I'm just really.
Snatch.
If you guys really liked a girl, would you consider a long distance relationship until college is over? Would you make it work?
Did you guys know each other before? Like, are you guys going
answer
off
that
to
one?
different colleges? That's what I want to know. Because in some cases, if you've known each other for like a year or 2 years or something, yeah, maybe try to make it work. But if you just got in touch with each other, or you're just meeting over the internet and then trying to start your relationship as long distance, no, don't do it.
Long
It's a waste of
distance,
time.
Yeah, really
So
hard.
I always say I think that you could make it work, but also be realistic in what that means.
Yeah.
Because in long distance
A lot of
relationships, there
FaceTime,
is
Skyping.
FaceTime, Skype, possibly traveling if you're financially able to do it, and if your job lets you leave. Like, I'm very fortunate. Like, even though Sarah's moved back to Michigan, I have a job that's very lenient, and I make my own schedule every week, even though it's entry level, and I have enough money coming in that I'm able to go there. But FaceTime, it's really tiring because, like, I get off work at midnight, and it's 3 a.m. for her. So it's like that's the only time that we can Skype, and she's for like 10 seconds or 5 seconds, whatever it is, and then night, and then that's the only time I see her now. So it's very much, you have to be okay with what that's gonna look like.
Yeah.
And not
You're gonna be very lonely.
and just be realistic with what it is too, because like, if you're gonna sit there and be like, well, I expect, expectations kill.
Right.
If you're gonna say, and you expect them to be on a phone call by 4 p.m. or whatever, and then they're not there because they were 10 minutes late at work or something, whatever it is, then don't attempt. Like, because you're going to get disappointed a lot.
Yeah. You have to give each other a lot of freedom, and you also have to each be willing to not live your whole life around when you would speak to this person. You have to have your own experiences.
I only slightly agree with that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who are in very successful long-distance relationships, and I myself have been in a failure of a long-distance relationship. And I think it's important to try. I think if you actually care about someone, and it's assuming, like what KatieMichal said, if you didn't just meet 2 days ago online or something, give it a shot. 4 years is a long time to do a long distance, even if you're back during the summers. And it's a long time where you still don't even know what's going to happen after that. Grad school, jobs in different states. Like, things are a lot of things are up in the air. I know a lot of people who are in long distance relationships that are like fairly clingy, even though they're in different states. And a lot of their time revolves around when they're going to talk and when they're going to communicate, and they don't have a lot of freedom outside of that relationship. And it looks repulsive from the outside, but they're happy. I know a lot of people who are in incredibly free long distance relationships, and they're also happy. And sometimes things just don't work that way. Everyone has different ways and types of relationships they can thrive in. When you start a long distance relationship, you're realistically starting a new relationship. You're getting a different person because the interactions you have all of them are changing. It's less gratifying to talk to someone over Skype. It doesn't feel the same. You don't get to hug the person. You don't get to see their face for 5 seconds even. It makes more of a difference than you would expect. All the little things add up. And for some people, that's too much. And for some people, it's fine. So give it a shot, but be prepared for it not to go as well as you might hope. And hopefully things are fine. Josh?
Yeah, well, like you said, the key is communication and really being on the same page as well, because like when we did long distance before she moved out here in the first place, it was very much like Skype for hours. And then now, like when she's moved back, we were kind of like thrown off and didn't even discuss the long distance part of it. And so it's very new. It's a very new relationship too. So it's also like, you can't compare it to what's before.
If I can ask you, do you guys have a long-term game plan? Is she going to move out here again, or are you moving back there?
So there was no plan. Like at first, they're slowly starting to like piece together now. But I always suggest having a plan.
Right.
Having a plan is what's causing most of the stress right now, but for both of us.
I think plans.
Yeah. So
you
have a
like
plan,
long-term.
and also if you're going to attempt it, like also know that you're going to be doing things in your lives that they may have nothing to do with. Like, you're going to have separate lives from each other just for the fact that you live in separate places. Now, a big part of your life is going to be together online and through texting and whatever. But at the same time, like, I'm going to be meeting people, and I'm starting college in the fall now. And so it's like, I'm going to be meeting new people she's never even going to have met. So it's like, you have to make sure that you're also taking care of yourself too.
I agree with that. And I also think that the commitment aspect of it, it seems like when you're in a relationship, you're making a day-to-day commitment because you can break up at any point. But in a long-term relationship, because you don't have to, but because it's a lot better to have a long-term plan, you're almost asking someone at least tentatively to commit for the future. And I think that's a lot easier for much older adults to do than kids in college who, we got a question, someone doesn't even know what they want to do at 16. Most people don't, let alone what they want to do after college and where things are going to take them. So you're putting someone in a tough predicament. And then additionally, the Skype calls and everything are assuming everything goes well. Like, my Wi-Fi in my freshman dorm would cut out every 5 minutes, and I wanted to die. Like, other things happen, So assuming everything goes well, you still have to deal with all the complexities of human interaction outside of all the other variables that there are. But I'd say go for it because it never hurts to try.
Yeah. So you're asking, would we? And I guess a lot of the people on this panel are saying they would try. So do you guys know why Tara's not here today? Does anyone
It's
know?
her 22nd birthday.
Like it's like a really big day for in Tara Town. It's Tara's.
In Tara Town is a big
Yeah,
day.
and for Tara, and I hope Luna made you something pretty. And do you guys want to sing for Tara, or we
Absolutely not.
Okay, so we just want to wish Tara
Copyrighted.
happy
Yeah.
birthday. We miss you.
We're singing.
Happy birthday is
We are
copyrighted.
singing.
If we're worried about copyright,
No,
Yeah,
the copyright
exactly.
actually came up this year.
it did.
Mhm.
Then let's sing.
Jilly. I like it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tara.
Oh,
Happy birthday to you.
Are you one? Are you two?
22.
We will see
Oh,
you next
shoot.
week. Goodbye,
Yeah, that
everybody.
takes so long.